it seemed like the hate is working. So apparently there have been some edits on the Superman film that you can stream at home, iTunes, all that jazz, right? So apparently, we got some investigative journalists out there, and they're reading the darn news clippings, and apparently in a news report at the end of Superman claims that Lex Luthor was behind false images of Superman's parent message, raising some doubt as to whether Jor-El message is authentic. Now, I don't know why this is a lingering question, because the director himself said that message was not AI.
Is it real? Has it been doctored? Is that the actual
How
message?
can someone not think it's real?
I'm
Stand down.
How can someone? I don't understand. Like, we did this. So in the test screens, people were like, "Is it real?" With AI, nobody trusts anything. Okay, in the movie,
Mr. Terrific says it's real.
Mr.
Like, before you get into the soliloquy, it's not that they don't believe it's real. They know it's real, because you kept reiterating it in the film. They don't want it to be real.
That's Mr. Terrific. And Lex says it's not a message. It's not doctored.
Right.
It's real. And who thought his own parents would be the ones to bring him down?
Okay.
When I was originally watching this podcast, I was like, why is he so adamant of making this pivot? And apparently James Gunn's favorite iteration, or his one that he drew from the most, was Smallville, like the CW Superman series in the early 2000s. And the portrayal of Jor-El, Superman's father, in there was more harsh than a compassionate version of later years. Clearly, he might have some long-term plans, but this decision sparks a debate.
Let's talk about one of the worst changes in the entire Superman movie. They actually make a pretty drastic change when it comes to Jor-El, which is Superman's dad. It turns out that his parents told Earth and repopulate 4 Kryptonian. That is typically Zod's route, not Jor-El. So me personally, I don't like how they kind of made Superman's parents evil.
And some people are just in denial.
Way that this dude here, Jor-El, not send his son for any other reason. I don't know one version of Jor-El where he ever sent Kal-El for him to conquer Earth. Not one version.
But I think it does leave a good conversation to have, because I know some people are over the tropes of Superman. You will get a Zod take eventually, but when Zod comes this time, it's more of a like, me and your father was great friends. We was generals together. He was over the science and I was over the military. I am like your uncle, Kal-El. So it's time to like start living up to father's expectation. I'm assuming that's the angle they want to do. However, it seems like they backtracking it. This could be a slew of reasons on why they're backtracking it, if that is the actual intentions. The international market following Superman movie is not what they thought it would be. They thought they had $1 billion little movie on their hands, and I think their box office score is just over 579. So, but at the same time, that's a lot of money. Also, this is just the beginning. Like, come on, folks. Like, I don't doubt that there will be some form of growth. However, the growth is not going to be spiking as they assume. But what could, get it going is to appease or play with what fans are focusing on the most after watching the film, which is this Jor-El concept primarily. Is that where they want their Luke, I am your father type of energy around it? No, but they could somewhat spark it, manifest it, if they play their cards right. And if they doing it right, Supergirl should have some form of Krypton involvement in that film, where we see how that planet ideology was, where they're more like Viltrumites, where there was conquerors in this version of the DCU, or was, Bradley Cooper Jor-El was an outlier of the ideology, and he was like, screw it, the planet's doomed, the race is over, but I kind of have to get my son to repopulate the whole situation. So screw those humans over there across the galaxy. We need some more Krypton people. I don't know.